safe does the ruling elite feel in Iran?
We have to look into this at two different levels. One is the level that is going on in those countries. Yes. From the beginning, I believe that the people of those countries are like, just like the rest of the people in the world. They want to have a better lives. They want to have better life conditions. They are after freedom and justice. They want welfare and happiness. They were looking for an opportunity to change the situation. But it was like a domino. It happens so fast in Arab countries. I think this was not really that natural. I think there was a kind of, there was a kind of management. These revolutions were managed. That is something I don't want to get into, because neither of these countries have yet achieved stability and peace. We hope that they will ultimately. But you said that, what about in Iran? No ruler should feel safe. Nowhere in the world. Not just in Iran, because the human societies, communities are moving forward. They want to achieve perfection. Their demands have not been fulfilled. Can you show me a city in which the people are 100% satisfied, and they say something like, the life that we're living is ideal, we don't want nothing else? No, I think humanity still has a long way to go. Can you give me an example of a place where justice is administered fully? No. Can any government say that it has been able to implement justice in this society? Can any government say that it has stayed true to all the rights of the people? Let me give you an example. There are now 7 billion people on the planet Earth. The people who are active in governance and the politicians, how many of them are there? 100,000 people maybe, officials, and the governments come and go, and they're exchanged between those 100,000 people. So what about the rest of the population of the world? The rest of the 7 billion people? Where in the world can we say that rights of the people are respected completely? There are pressures, there are some imperfect legislations everywhere in the world. So no ruler should feel safe unless he cares about and respects the rights of the people, and unless he's ahead of the people. And when he is lagging behind, the people are going to overtake him. Especially today, in this world, a lot of borders have been removed, a lot of boundaries. Now I'm talking to you, okay? I don't feel as if I'm different from you because I'm an Iranian and you're Russian. Maybe 20 years ago, there was such a distinction. We felt so strongly about our nationalities. But now we are talking about from the viewpoint of humanity. Borders are being removed. People are coming together and closer to each other. People are thinking global and universal. People are thinking about other things. Justice, unfulfilled historical wishes of mankind. And everything is evolving so fast. People are moving towards justice. Any ruler, any government, if does not adapt itself to it, then they are going to lag behind the people. Iran is no exception. The US is no exception. Russia, same thing. Arab countries, no exceptions. But God has promised that there will be justice. And if it happens, then humanity will be happy. And I think people are now vigilant and wide awake. They want to have They want their rights to be fulfilled. I'm not saying that mistakes are not made. Yes, maybe there might be some rebellions, unjust ones. So everybody should be careful. Everybody should try to listen to the people, to stay true to justice. This is something universal. Nobody is exempted from this.
Do you think the Muslim Brotherhood will hold into power in Egypt?
You know, Muslim Brotherhood is a historical current movement. It's a way of thinking. And it is going to remain in power unless something else comes and it is superior to this way of thinking. It is not going to be eliminated completely. But the thing is that, can we say that the president coming from the Brotherhood is going to be the president of the Egypt forever? No, I don't think so.
I want to ask you about Israel.
Let me, you know, I think human societies are changing. I mean, it is not like this. We cannot manage a country with only one party, with only one way of thinking. I think the humanity has passed this. It is like 100 million people. There are different views, difference of opinion in that country. You cannot rule them with only one single method. You have to listen to all the people so that everybody feels that he is there, he is included in the policy makings. Yes. They should try to work on the commonalities. If we limit ourselves, then we will not be successful. I'm telling you that in the next 5 or 6 years, the places that will be run this way, limited way, with a narrow-mindedness, then they are going to change revolutions, including the U.S.
I want to ask you about Syria. I know you don't like the word isolated geopolitically, but many believe that one of the main reasons why the West is so after Assad is because the ultimate target is you and Iran, to isolate you, because he is your ally in the region.
You know, the issue of Syria is very complicated. I mean, when we say Syria, then Israel comes to our mind immediately. These two are so interrelated. I mean, you have to look into Syria in a historical context. Of course, we have said it before, that it is the right of every nation to enjoy freedom, dignity, and justice. Everybody should have the right to have free choice. They should be able to choose and elect their rulers themselves. This is the most basic principle. I mean, in Syria, the same thing should happen. But there are two things, there are two methods which are now being pursued. One is militarism, or the method of war. There are some who want to come to power militarily. I think that is wrong. We think that is wrong. Anybody who comes to power militarily means that he approves of war, of armed conflicts, especially in countries in which there are different ethnic groups or different clans. There is another method, that is national reconciliation. Everybody should come, there should be free election, and people choose their destiny, and everybody who is elected should be respected by everyone. We think that the second method works and is the right one for everywhere, especially for Syria. Yes, I do agree with what you said somehow. The Westerners don't want the Syrian issue to come to an end. They are pursuing two objectives. First, the continuation of this crisis is in their favor. It is in the favor of the Zionist regime. It has provided the Zionists with a historical opportunity. Yes, if it continues for 20 years, then they are going to have a peace for 20 years. But before that, they felt that they were under pressure. So now they say that in Egypt, in Libya, in Syria, there are conflicts in all the regional countries. So nobody is paying attention to them, so they can rest at peace. The second thing is that under the pretext of the Syrian question, they want the crisis to spread out to the neighboring countries, to Iraq, to Lebanon, to Turkey, because they want to affect the whole region. They are after a new Middle East, and they want to do this through developing this crisis. So I don't think that they want the Syrian problem to come to an end swiftly. They want it to continue.
I have two questions in one because we're running out of time. Do you believe the Israeli rhetoric is just rhetoric, or they're going to actually hit the Iranian nuclear facilities? And also, do you have a proof that Israel has nuclear weapon? Because Netanyahu certainly thinks that Iran will have 200 soon.
You mean Iran is going to have 200 warheads?
That's what he says.
ایشون
Yes.
اینو میگه بله. This is something that I've said many times before. It is not of any use to us to have nukes. Can we use it? I mean, nuclear weapons? They're useless. Do you think that anybody can use it? The U.S. has most of the nukes in the world. Can it use this? Where can it use it? I mean, human societies are well over this one. It is so 20th century. Even not the people of the U.S. are going to allow the government to make use of them. It is the most brutal, most inhuman weapon that can be used against others. Iran, throughout history, has always been a defender and has always used conventional weapons. It has never used chemical weapons. Iran is still defending itself. It is mostly a political, cultural defense. We don't need any nuclear weapons. Iran is not a country that has been fabricated or has been created on the map. No. It was not like they said there were some people who had rulers in their hands, they went to the map and they put some lines on it and they said that, yeah, this is Iran. But it cannot be said about the Zionist regime, you know. Russia, Iran, Russia, thousands of years, we are rooted in these territories. We don't need such recognitions. There are some other ones. They are fabricated regimes. They occupy some other territories and they just change the name. And the people there feel insecure because they don't belong there. They have come from other places. Yes, those need nuclear weapons, not us. I remember that I was having this conversation with His Excellency Mr. Putin in China in order to dismantle all the nuclear weapons in the world, to eliminate them. Because Russia does not want to have such weapons. I know that. Yes, that's natural. Why should it possess such weapons? But because others have them, then some might want to have them. Yes, in defending ourselves against the Zionists, we don't need such weapons. I think that there are enough wise, rational people in the U.S. who would not allow the Zionist regime to do such a stupid thing. Iranian nuclear facilities are not going to go away with bombardments. They are in the heads of our scientists. We have localized it. Iran is 1,873,000 square kilometers. That's a vastness. So, are they going to bomb everywhere? Yes, this is psychological war. Of course, we are ready to defend ourselves.
Mr. President, thank you very much for this interview and for sitting down with RT.
All the best to each and every one of you.
And there we have it here on RT, an exclusive live interview here on the program with Iran's outgoing President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He was talking just now to RT's Sophie Shepard-Nazi. If you missed it though, that live interview, you can catch it in her program Sophieco at 20:30 GMT.
Real damage and complexity of this oil spill was not something that you could grasp just by looking at dirty birds.
We have between 4 to 5 million people in this directly affected area of the coast, and it's pretty clear why it's not being reported, because BP can't afford to have it reported.